certainly are in a great business. I can't imagine another place to be. How appropriate it is for this evening that the brightest star in our universe of wine stars this evening is the CEO of a company called Constellation Brands. Our man of the year, Robert Sands, is a multifaceted leader. But before I talk about his business accomplishments, I'd like to call Jose Fernandez, president of Constellation Wines, up to the podium. And Jose will tell you a little about the personal part of Rob.
Good evening. Well, as Adam mentioned, there's a part of Rob's life outside the wine business. It is that he really doesn't talk about all that much. But I think it's one more reason that Rob so deserves this honor tonight. And it's about his philanthropic work, especially in the area of healthcare. And, you know, a lot of us in the wine business are generous supporters of worthy causes. And the Sands family have been leaders in this area for many years across all kind of areas of philanthropic work. But Rob's generosity extends well beyond financial contributions. While I would say being CEO of Constellation Brands is more than a full-time job, Rob is a very active board member of VIA Health. In fact, for the last 6 years, from 2002 through 2008, he was chairman of the board of VIA Health. VIA is one of the largest healthcare providers in New York State, operating more than 12 hospitals and facilities and employing over 6,500 healthcare professionals. And it's with everything that Rob does, he's devoted himself to this role in a very serious way. In fact, I know that a lot of you folks in this room have had conversations with Rob in this area and know that Rob can talk as knowledgeably, articulately, and as passionately about the challenges facing healthcare in the United States as he can about the global wine and spirits industry. I've gotten to know a lot more about this side of Rob's interests over the last 2 months, actually, since the Monday after Thanksgiving, when I was diagnosed with brain cancer. Not the call you want to get on the Monday after Thanksgiving. But since those, in the last 2 months, Rob has been just an incredible advisor in helping me to get the very best treatment available. And for that, my family and I will be forever grateful. You know, when you work for a wine company, it's pretty unique and pretty amazing to have a boss who's also one of the most respected and influential leaders in the medical community. But I've also seen firsthand how Rob's generosity of both his time and resources has impacted the lives and health of literally hundreds of thousands of people in the upstate New York region. Adam, this is a unique and magnificent venue that you've chosen, the New York Library for these annual awards. And I think it's so appropriate in many ways. Some of you may know this, but the library was built in 1911, so 98 years ago. Along with the famous stone lions kind of standing guard outside in this, outside this kind of treasure chest of human knowledge, really. You know, this is before Google and before Wikipedia. This library represented something pretty amazing, a real collection of human knowledge. So the building was built in 1911, but it wasn't until the 1930s that Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia named those two lions outside, and he named them Patience and Fortitude. And his view was that those are two virtues that would do New Yorkers well to kind of survive the Great Depression. And I would say that patience and fortitude are two virtues that are in abundance in this crowd tonight. And it's particularly true in Rob's case. After all, it takes a lot of patience and fortitude to make great wine. It takes a lot of patience and fortitude to build a successful wine company. And especially in today's environment, in Rob's case, to run a publicly traded wine company. It takes a lot of patience and fortitude to deal with a lot of these investment analysts. So I want to ask everyone to do me a favor tonight. When you leave here tonight, in Rob's honor, take a look at those lions. Take in a deep breath of that bracing, invigorating January New York air. I think there are very few things that are as delicious as a cool New York evening. And just think about how fortunate we are to be alive on this planet, to be in this great country, which is undergoing a whole new beginning in a lot of ways, to be part of this incredible industry, and for people who continually work hard to make it better, like Rob. I'm so proud of what Rob's accomplished and feel so fortunate to be part of the Constellation team and to have Rob as a leader, a colleague, and a friend. So thank you, Rob, and thank you, Adam, and cheers.
Thank you, Jose, for your touching words. We will all drink a toast to your good health as well this evening. Besides personal achievements, which Jose beautifully alluded to, Robert has been one of our industry's leading strategists, transforming his company's portfolio from jug wine offerings to the leading premium wine brands in America. Established in 1945 as a bulk wine producer in the New York Finger Lakes, Constellation has grown under Robert's family's leadership into the largest wine producer in the world. In their recent new book, which you'll find in your gift bag, by the way, make sure you take it, Reaching for the Stars, A History of Constellation Brands, written by both Richard and Robert, there are several important points that the two brothers make. Foremost, they quote their late father, Marvin Sands, when he said, "To be successful, you have to fuse the romance of wine with the power of business." Words which his sons continue to live by today. Robert Sands exemplifies this. Although winemaking is viewed as a complex and challenging business, it takes great business people to make it flourish. We open tonight's program with a tribute to one Robert. And we're closing the program with another. Both have shown great leadership. Robert Mondavi with great passion for winemaking, and Robert Sands with profound business acumen.
At Constellation Brands, we are passionate about achieving excellence. Throughout our 64-year history, Constellation has taken pride in producing and marketing excellent wines and other high-quality beverage alcohol products. Over the years, we have developed and acquired excellent vineyards, wineries, and above all, excellent people. Using core values established by Marvin Sands, Constellation's founder, and my father, we have created a winning culture in which achieving excellence to help grow the company has become part of our organization's DNA. From our humble beginnings of making and selling wine at a former sauerkraut factory in tiny Canandaigua, New York, to status as the world's top premium wine company and the world's largest wine producer, we have created a business environment focused on growth. And we grow our business by providing consumers and our customers with a broad portfolio of quality beverage alcohol brands across a variety of categories and diverse geographies. Offering quality and value to people in the form of wines and other beverages they desire is what we strive to achieve daily. Doing so has resulted in our leadership position in each of our 5 core markets. We are the #1 wine company in the U.S. based on sales. We're the largest wine company in the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. And we're the #2 in New Zealand. Through our joint venture with Grupo Modelo, Crown Imports is the #1 beer importer in the U.S., with the top-selling premium import brand, Corona Extra. We also have a spirits business with one of the fastest-growing major premium brands, Svedka Vodka, which is very complementary to our wine business. When it comes to wine, which is the primary reason we are all here tonight, our vision of becoming a premium wine company began a decade ago with our acquisition of our Franciscan, Simi, Estancia, and Montveter labels. At that time, it was becoming clear to us that consumers were trading up and gaining greater appreciation for finer wines in our core markets. In 2001, Joel Peterson sold us Ravenswood. We acquired Hardy's in 2003, added Ruffino to our portfolio in 2004, as well as the shining star in Constellation's galaxy, the iconic Robert Mondavi brand. In 2006, Vincor joined the Constellation family, and with it, the world's leading ice wine, Inniskillen. And late in 2007, we purchased Clos de Bois and Wild Horse. While boosting our premium wines, we've also reduced our position in lower price, lower margin wines. The transformation has resulted in our U.S. wine business now being largely premium, with these segments accounting for 85% of dollar sales value in grocery channels. As we continue to provide consumers with life-enriching experiences, our vision, values, and culture remain solidly focused on delivering superior quality and value from beverage alcohol products we produce and sell around the world. In doing so, we believe that we will be able to continue traveling along a path which enables us to invest in our people, facility, and brands for long-term growth, one glass at a time. We are Constellation Brands.
For his ability to adapt and evolve, strategically innovating his company's growth to reflect current consumer tastes, I am delighted to recognize Robert Sands as our Wine Enthusiast Man of the Year.
Well, I get the dubious pleasure of being last, of course, tonight. I think that the Marchese Antinori said it very well. The person at the wedding, the first person didn't know what to say, the second person didn't know what he was saying, and now I think that there's nothing left for me to say, is the truth of the matter. But we'll muddle through it. Now, hang on one second. I'd say that's Jean-Charles Boisset, number 7, Pinot Noir, 2006. I could tell that wine anywhere, even though he just made it. Listen, first of all, thank you to Jose Fernandez for his very nice words. I greatly appreciate that, and I greatly treasure Jose's respect, and really appreciate the fact that Jose was able to come up and say a few things relative to my award tonight. And Adam and his lovely wife, our hosts, I think that they deserve a hand as well, for this fantastic evening. Nobody honors you. Why don't you stand up, both of you? Adam and his wife and the Wine Enthusiast staff, I think, orchestrated an absolutely lovely evening. You should be very proud of what you've done, both tonight and your accomplishments relative to the Wine Enthusiast. Now, I'm just going to say a couple of things, okay? Number one, I'm extremely honored and humbled to receive this award as Man of the Year by the Wine Enthusiast. When I look around here, and I even look at the people who are sitting at our table and the tables close to me, I didn't get a chance to see everybody here, and the names, okay, that are in our presence, okay, Piero Antinori, Gallo, Margaret Mondavi, okay, to even be compared with Robert Mondavi is way beyond almost ridiculous, by the way. I mean, I would never even presume such a thing. Our own Joel Peterson from Ravenswood, who put Zinfandel on the map. People like Gary Heck and other honorees tonight. I mean, I am truly humbled to be in the presence of these people, no less, to be honored in the wine world. And, that really brings me, secondly, to our industry. Now, what a great industry that we're in. A number of you who spoke here tonight alluded to the fact, either directly or indirectly, that we were part of a great industry. And I look around here tonight and I think to myself, we could be at a semiconductor chip convention. All right? And you all would look exactly the same as what you look like right here. And you know what? The honorees would get up here and they would say how passionate they are about being in the semiconductor chip industry and the things that they provide to their customers. And what's the difference, okay, between those widget manufacturers and us here in this room? Yeah, well, I heard one person say we can drink. That's true. But the real difference is we're telling the truth. And they're not. And I think that we should consider ourselves very lucky in that regard, that we are in an industry that we can truly be passionate about, as opposed to forcing ourselves to be passionate about making semiconductors. I think that it's something that everybody here ought to reflect on a little bit, but I also have a great deal of confidence that it is something that everybody here has reflected upon a great deal. Now, no offense to the wine enthusiast, okay? But let me just say a couple of words about who I really believe are the true men and women of the year, okay? And I'll start with our retailers. Retailers embodied, okay, by people like the people who have joined us at our table, the Specs chain. This is what makes the whole world go around for all of us. This is a tremendous element of the business and a critical tier. Yes, let's give them a hand. A lot of deserved recognition in that regard. 60 some odd stores in one relatively small region. That's a tremendous accomplishment in a big business. Number two are distributors. And, this is not something that really can be overemphasized relative to our business in the United States. I know that sounds somewhat surprising, but what makes the United States the most profitable beverage alcohol market in the world? It is precisely the fact that we have the three-tier system that we have here. It could not be done here any other way. We would be much like many of the other markets around the world if we didn't have the three-tier system. And let me tell you, we would not enjoy what we enjoy here in the United States in terms of the vibrancy and profitability of this market. It's an absolutely critical element. Thirdly, in terms of who are the real men and women of the year, okay? My colleagues at Constellation, I'd like to have all my colleagues at Constellation stand up, please. These people, I sometimes think their purpose in life is literally to put me out of a job. And I say that because they are so good at doing what they do that I really don't have that much to do. And, it's really my colleagues and associates at Constellation that are behind the fact that I can stand up here and be the man of the year. So I pass that mantle on to them because I wouldn't be here if they weren't there and if they weren't doing the things that have made Constellation a great company. And, lastly, of course, my family, and I think that this is true of everybody, my wife, my daughter, my brother, who is a former recipient of this award and who's chairman of Constellation. They're the people who have made it possible, okay, for me to be a man of the year here at this dinner tonight. And believe me, there'd be no possibility whatsoever that I could be standing up here and receiving this honor if it wasn't for my family. So to all of you, I thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to address you all in this wonderful capacity. And I thank the wine enthusiast from the bottom of my heart for honoring me and Constellation and the people at Constellation who work so hard tonight in the manner that you have. So thank you very much, Adam and Sybil, and the rest of you at the Wine Enthusiast, and thank you all for joining us here tonight.